Thanks to the support as a channel member, Mike Camera. Oh, everything is looking wonderful here at Coventry City. It's February and we're second in the Premier League. We're about to play in the EFL Cup final against Manchester City, our second Wembley final in a year, and an opportunity for us to get into Europe for the first time. Plus, we've just brought 3 wonder kids into the club, including a returning Linnell Osborne, who, of course, was a hero last season. And remember, I said I wanted that forever goalkeeper. That transfer's pre-arranged. He joins us in the summer. It's going really rather well. It's a shame the same can't be said for poor old Brackley, who are in very real danger of being relegated back out of the Football League again. They got relegated from League One last season. Upon their relegation from League One, my tycoon chairman, Adam Robertson, left the club after only 3 years. He came in, we got multiple promotions, a new stadium, new facilities, and then he left and immediately the funding was withdrawn and they could be getting relegated back down to the National League again, which all in all is very, very sad. Strangely, after all that, he's not on the favoured personnel anymore, although bafflingly, Jez Moxey is, who was only there long enough to do a relegation and get sacked. He's above me on the favoured personnel. I'm done with Brackley. I'm glad things are going as well as they are at Coventry, because this is what's been going on since the last episode. We're unbeaten since that Manchester United game, which I think was in the last episode. And we've got an EFL Cup final today against Manchester City. We also play them in the league. Then we're back-to-back against Arsenal in the league and the FA Cup, and then play Liverpool in the league. If we continue our unbeaten run for 5 more matches, this will be one of history's finest football manager seasons. And transfers are going really well as well. We've managed to clear out a few of the fringe players that we weren't losing. Joel and Darla, who, to be fair to him, was injured, but he's gone out on loan to Derby in the Championship, mainly because we've signed replacements for him and don't need him anymore. Jair Bonner has gone out for the same reasons. He's just dropped too far down the pecking order. And we sold Josh Eccles to Sochaux for £3.5 million. And we used the money from those transfers to bring in some new boys. This one, signing of the save, bargain of the save, Edafe Ndambambi. I'd need to learn Namdi. Edafe Namdi, I think is how you'd say his name. He was playing for Victoria Plzeň in Czechia. I don't know how he ended up in Czechia. He was born in Nigeria. He's got Polish as a second nationality. He is fluent in Czech and English. So he was knocking around in Czechia and went off to the African Nations Cup, at which point he popped up on my scout report because we had a player, Amrouche, at the African Nations Cup. So I guess that caused us to scout the event. He was out of contract with Victoria Plzeň. So we signed him on a pre-contract to come in the summer and then bought him early for 2.6 million. And he is awesome. He's come in and straight away hit that value. 3.5 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. He's going to be a Premier League superstar. And in his first 2 starts in the league for us, he's got 2 goals and assists, a man of the match, and an average rating of 8. With him on the opposite side to Hart, our front 3 now is spectacular. We also brought in a centre-back. We ended the last episode in a bit of a centre-back crisis because we'd sold Montolio. And although, what's-his-face, Pellegrino didn't get recalled, he did get sent off in the first match of January. We eventually managed to get our man. Levi Burrows is a 6'6" English wonder kid who is quick and can play on the right wing. Is a natural centre-back. I mean, this is my dream defender. And to get him in for just £12 million off of West Brom, bargain of the set, 2 bargains of the century. We also then went back to Spurs and managed to get Linnell Osborne back on loan again until the end of the season. They wanted a mandatory future fee of 60 million, which we couldn't do. We switched it to an optional future fee of 81 million, which obviously we're not going to pay, but it allowed us to get him back on loan again for 6 months. And he's picked up where he left off last season and is outstanding. And then to top off an excellent January, we couldn't afford to bring him in now. We just ran out of money, but he's joining us as soon as the window opens in the summer. Roger Florentino is a 6'4" Brazilian goalkeeper, under 20 international, who has got 3.5, 4 stars of current ability, 4.5 stars of potential. I said I wanted my forever goalkeeper. I think, certainly as far as Coventry are concerned, this is the last goalkeeper I'll ever need to sign for this football club. And he joins us in the summer. So transfers looking really good. The league table is looking really good. We're up in second place. Games in hand on a lot of the teams behind us as well. We've got one of the top scorers in the Premier League in the shape of Liam Regis, who's joint second, level with Erling Haaland and Benjamin Sesko. That's not bad for a 22-year-old in his first season in the Premier League. And yeah, everything is coming up Coventry at the moment. And now we can qualify for Europe for the first time in 1,000 years. If we can beat Manchester City at Wembley, win the Carabao Cup, it will get us, I think, a Europa League spot for the Carabao Cup, which of course we could then try and upgrade by getting into the Champions League as the season goes on. But our last Wembley final against Spurs didn't go so well. So hopefully today goes a bit more our way. And this is the 11. It's Gerbic in goal, a back four of Eleftherides, Amrouche, De Winter and Aarons, Aranda at the base of the midfield, Keating and Osborne ahead of him, Hart on the left, Illing on the right and Regis up front. You have to wait to see Namdi because he's picked up a knock. So he's not going to be fit to start. Enoch Aguier is fit enough to now be on the bench, as is Gozzi. So we are starting to fill the team up a little bit again. Levi Burrows, who probably would be starting centre-back alongside De Winter, of course, is cup-tied. So he has to sit this one out, but should be back for the Man City game in the league. There were a couple of matches where we had no available defenders while we were waiting for Burrows to arrive, and Amrouche was still in Africa. And we actually played one match where we had a centre-back partnership of 5'5" Eleftherides and 5'9" Fabio Andre. And they were our starting centre-backs. We won the game as well. But I don't want to ever start a centre-back partnership that little ever again for as long as I live. It was very, very upsetting, but we've now got a decent helping of centre-backs at the club again. Right, Aaron's playing the ball forward, looking for Osborne. It ends up going beyond him, but finding Hart, who's got space on this left-hand side, cuts it back for Eleftherides. It's with Hart again. He plays it across for Illing, and Samuel Illing can't stop scoring for you lot. He doesn't do it when it's just me here. But when you lot are here, Illing has fun, although this one might be getting disallowed. Let's see what VAR has got to say. It's been given. It's a 13th goal of the season for Illing, and it's 1-0 to Coventry against Manchester City at Wembley in a cup final. This would be, if we can pull this off, Coventry's first piece of silverware since the FA Cup in 1980 something? I want to say 87. Was it 87? Wimbledon were 88, weren't they? I think Coventry was 87. Regis with the in-swinger trying to find De Winter. He can't get proper contact on it, but Keating puts it back into the area. Amrouche nodding it down, but it ends up getting cleared. Eleftherides is there to try and keep the attack going. Finds Aranda to De Winter. And there's Keating, who finds Max Aarons just about. And then Regis. And Regis is in great form. We won a game 8-2 recently against Cardiff, and Regis got 5 goals in that match. It is fair to say he has fully established himself as our starting striker ahead of Dane Scarlett now. Even though Scarlett never really did anything wrong, he was just 5 years too old and not quite as explosively good as Regis has turned out to be. Scarlett's a very useful guy to have knocking around the place as an impact player off the bench, but that FA Cup final, it's rare. It is rare for a player's career to be ruined by one game that he was supposed to lose anyway. But I've just never fully trusted Dane Scarlett since that day. And that's why we signed Regis in the first place. That's why we favoured Regis earlier in the season when he wasn't scoring as quickly as Scarlett was. And that's why he's our man now. Right, we've got a couple of tired little legs out there. We are going to bring on, in fact, who's fittest out of Aguier and Namdi. So he's severely lacking in match fitness, and he is suffering with a tight hamstring. I want to show you my shiny new toy, so we're going to bring Namdi on. In fact, he's a right footer, so he can play over that side and leave Illing over there. We are going to take off Regis. Oh, Scarlett's injured, isn't he? That's not ideal. We'll take off Max Aarons. He's tiring. So Ebosele can come on. He's barely played. He doesn't join us permanently until the summer. Really don't want him. We're going to leave Regis on for now, but we will take off Osborne and bring on Irogbonham, who's probably feeling a little bit hard done by to have lost his spot to a returning Osborne. I mean, he was behind Osborne in the pecking order all last season, and has just fallen back into his spot as first reserve in all the midfield positions this season. It does mean Masashima, my Japanese wonder kid, still only 20, is not getting any game time at all, really, but he was injured for most of the first half of the season, and that's really poor. I'm not even really sure how that's ended up in the back of the net. I think Gerbic couldn't see it. We're going to make that excuse for him. Let's try and have a look at it from the other angle and work out what's gone on. So it was a shenanigans corner to begin with. I thought Foden was going to score it straight away, but then it ends up coming back to Kulusevski. It's a very soft goal to concede. And yeah, this is not ideal. There are some weird transfers that have been going on in this Premier League as well. Kulusevski at City is one of them. You'll notice Curtis Jones is also in the Manchester City team. Rodri playing for Liverpool. There's been some weird transfers between the bigger clubs and Spurs. And there is Irogbonam to make it 2-1. It's an immediate reply. Eleftherides, who really is going from strength to strength with starting left back for us. He's pushed Amrouche down to first reserve in the back four. And he's showing once again there why he is establishing himself as our main man at left back. He's one of our own. And they were queuing up to score there. Any one of the three could have turned that past the Manchester City goalkeeper. And it's 2-1 with 10, 15 minutes remaining. Regis is going to come off. Manuel is going to come on up front. We're going to take off Illing, and Aguier gets to make his long-awaited return after his long injury layoff. And can we hold on and pick up our first proper piece of silverware of the save? Obviously, we've won the championship. We've won various lower league divisions with Brackley. We haven't won an actual proper trophy yet. Did we win the FA trophy with Brackley? We might have done. But you know, everyone's always said, as the saying in football goes, the Carabao Cup is the big one. It's the one everybody wants. And here is Ebosele on the right-hand side. It's your first time seeing him, I think. And he's been brilliant there. And Irogbonam scored again. He's sending me a message that he should be the starter in that Mazzala position. He's come off the bench for Osborne, scored twice. It's now 3-1 to Coventry. Dare I get my little Lego trophy ready? I can see it behind me. I'm not going to touch it yet. We don't want to tempt fate. But I got some stick for not lifting that trophy when we did the championship trophy lift. I apologise. It's for cups, really, not for the championship. Who cares about the championship? Right, Irogbonam is looking for a hat-trick here against Manchester City from central midfield as a substitute, which is a very strange thing for somebody to be looking for. It's not strange to be looking for. It's strange to have any chance of actually achieving. And he has that chance today, but it is City on the attack. There's still probably a good 10, 15 minutes to go in this match. City can't be ruled out yet. Irogbonam's actually given the ball away in a dangerous area there. And Kulusevski scored again. This isn't over yet, boys and girls. Kulusevski has decided to take it upon himself to try and salvage a trophy that Manchester City absolutely don't need. They've won so many trophies over the years. They need to let us have this one. It's Eleftherides with the throw. Namdi plays it back to Amrouche, and now De Winter. There's 2 minutes of normal time, plus whatever the referee adds on. And here's Joey Keating, the captain, plays it out to Festi Ebosele at right back, who goes past his man. He is dancing. He's loving life. He's dancing past everybody. Boateng to Namdi. And there is our latest wonder kid to score what should be the settler. The win. It's not really the winning goal because we were already winning. But that should be it. And I warn you, that kid is good. We have got some very, very, very good wide players here at Coventry. And I mean, don't say it too loud in front of Hart, but he might be the one. We'll see. Either way, I'm getting the trophy. Oh, are we doing another one? Are we having number 5? Putting 5 past City at Wembley's mad. Let's do it. Let Irogbonam. Oh my word. He could have had the hat-trick in spectacular style. 20 seconds to go. Send the keeper forward. Get everybody up there. We want 5. It's Manuel to take. Cross comes in and it's cleared. And I'm just going to go and get my trophy. Oh, just polish this off. Here we go, boys and girls. It's trophy lift o'clock. We are the Lego champions. I'm ready. I'm holding it by the handles. Come on, let's get a wriggle on. We've got to play this lot again in a minute. And there is Joey Keating, trophy in hand. He's one of our own as well. What a production line we've got here at Coventry with homegrown players and wonder kids. The future is very bright. And there is a Carabao Cup trophy lift, and probably even more important than the trophy, we're in Europe next year, which is going to make it that bit easier to attract even more special wonder kids. I'm giddy. And now it's Manchester City in the Premier League in a second versus third match. I tell you what, a win here, and we are not guaranteed Champions League football, but goodness me, are we a lot closer to it. Levi Burrows is no longer cup side, so he can come in and partner De Winter at the back. Donnelly, was he suspended or injured? Why didn't Donnelly play in the last game? I think he was suspended. Yeah, suspended. Donnelly no longer suspended, so he's back in at right back. And Namdi fit enough to start on the right-hand side of midfield. That front three is... certainly for a club of this size, I have rarely had a better front three than these three boys. Hart's only 19. Regis is 22. Namdi, 19. I keep telling you, the future's bright here at Coventry, and it's going to take a lot to drag me away from this club. It's going to take a job the size of a Manchester City or an Arsenal or a Barcelona or somebody like that. I'm not leaving Coventry to go and manage Everton or anything silly like that. We're turning this team into a superpower. Burrows plays it out to Eleftherides. Regis is there. And with the first attack of the game, we're ahead again against Manchester City. It's a 16th goal of the season for Regis. And it's 1-0 to Coventry. The highest placed sky blue playing team in the Premier League are ahead. I mean, that's our new 19-year-old centre-back, Levi Burrows, by the way, playing that ball out there. 6'6". Did I mention he's 6'6"? He's going to be an aerial threat from corners. We've only seen that happen once so far since he's been here, but I suspect as he gets a little bit older and polishes up his heading, because at the moment he's got a jumping reach of 18, but his heading's only 16. Gabriel, who got all those goals for me in the network game, I think he was 18 for both. So that's how you become a 30-goal a season centre-back. You have to have two 18s. So he does just need to improve his heading a smidgen. And of course, I'd have to turn the cheesy tactic on, which I don't think we need to do. But I think he could probably get to double figures most seasons as a man of that stature if he just polishes up his heading ability a little bit. I don't think 10 goals a season for him is unrealistic at all. So that's what we're going to be aiming for. He's certainly our new target from set pieces, and we have a throw, and it's with Lanel Osborne. Lovely to have him back at the club. I don't think there's going to be any way we can ever sign him permanently, but I'll loan him every time I can for the rest of the time. I don't know why he doesn't play for Spurs. If he's good enough to play for us in second place, he's good enough to play for Spurs wherever they are down the leagues. It's mad that he doesn't get into their team. But I think we've got a penalty here. Just before half-time, we're off to VAR. VAR are idiots. Hate VAR. Remains 1-0. It's fine. We're still beating Man City. I guess I can live with that. And look at the beautiful little bit of daylight that starts to appear behind us. If we do hold on to this lead here today, City haven't had a shot on target yet. So we are doing quite well. They're doing their silly little two inverted fullbacks and a libero nonsense again, including Rico Lewis as an inverted fullback is an interesting tactical choice. There you go. They've replaced him with Tomiyasu, which makes a little bit more sense, I think. Trying to get Rico Lewis to play as a centre-back seems like a strange idea. But Hart is tiring, so Illing's going to come on, and we're going to swap those two over. We'll leave Namdi on for now, because I want to give him an opportunity from the other wing, but Irogbenham can come on again. And then De Winter is going to come off for Amrouche. And we'll move Burrows over there. And it's very nice to have some strength in depth at centre-back again. This squad, it's starting to come together, boys and girls. We are a good football team. Right. Final changes. Namdi's had a really poor game. So youngster Lee Watson is going to come in. He's the reason we let, Bonner go out on loan, because this guy's come through our youth system. He's had a couple of loans, one to Charlton in League One, one to West Brom in the Championship for the start of this season. He's only 19, decent potential. England under 20 international, can play as striker or out wide. So He's quite good. So he's gonna come straight into the reckoning ahead of Bonner. We may as well use our own player rather than one that we have to not be able to register for you, because we're starting to think in terms of Champions League. I'm thinking in terms of this substitution as well. We're going to bring on Masushima, and he's going to play as the Mazzala, and Erogbenum will slot into the Joey Keating role so that he can have a little bit of a rest. And can we hold on to what will be a huge 3 points, because it gives us daylight. We're 7 points clear of Newcastle down in 6th place, 4 points ahead of Manchester City with the team directly behind us. And I did not expect in my first season in the Premier League to be winning back-to-back matches against Manchester City. In fact, I think we've done the league double over them as well. So I'm sure we beat them earlier in the season when we played them. Did we beat them earlier in the season? We did. We've done the league double and we've beaten them in the Carabao Cup final. Now let's go and ruin Arsenal's time as well. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.